everyone, welcome to another episode of the Stitches and Scribbles podcast. My name is Erin, and today I have lots of things to show you. So many, in fact, that I'm actually splitting this podcast and I'm going to be pre-filming the podcast for next month. I mentioned this in a different video, but I don't know if that video has come out yet because I'm filming things very out of order. But I am currently working on kind of batch filming a lot of stuff because I have a busy season coming up with back to school. I already have a couple sub requests for the fall. And my husband and I are still house hunting, so I'm anticipating that at some point in the next few months, hopefully, we will suddenly be very, very busy with moving and doing all of that stuff. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm prepared for when that happens, but you guys don't lose as many videos. So we'll see if that actually works out, but for now it just kind of means that I don't feel as rushed when creating content for you. The other reason why I wanted to do that is I kind of want to do Vlogmas this year and do like a short video every day instead of a long video every week, longer video every week. But I'm actually going to talk about that more in the next podcast episode where I go through some different projects. So the other reason why I split what I'm going to show you between this podcast and the next one is because I had quite a few finished objects. I have quite a few whips, but also I did 2 separate yarn hauls, technically 3 separate yarn hauls, that I'm going to be talking about with you all. So I split it into a more crochet focused segment today, and next month you'll get like my knitting whips and all that stuff. So yeah, that's the plan for right now. Hopefully that all made sense. But let's dive into some crochet stuff. So I noticed that like in general when I'm crafting, I kind of go in waves of knit versus crochet. And I feel like for the last couple months, it has been all crochet everything. I haven't really done a lot of knitting. And while I'm like really happy I did all of those crochet things, crochet does wear out my hands a little bit more than knitting does. I don't know why that is. And actually, it's not even my hand that holds the hook that gets really sore and cramped. It's the other hand. I don't know if it's because of how I hold my stitches or how I hold the project, but something about that makes my left hand, so my non-dominant hand, cramp up really badly sometimes. And I also wanted to add some crochet items to my farmer's market craft fair stash, so I've kind of shifted a lot of like my fun projects to be knitting projects. But I do have 2 finished crochet items to show you today. And they're actually fairly large crochet items. So the first one I finished is the short-sleeved hexagon cardigan. This does have a dedicated video and tutorial that is available now on my channel, so you can check that out. I am really glad that I made this, but it took absolutely forever because this yarn is about the same weight as embroidery floss. And I used like a 3 or a 3.5 millimeter hook, something really tiny. And it turned out absolutely beautiful. I love wearing it. It would look cute with this dress too. I've worn it out a couple times already. Definitely like a great piece that I'm glad I have in my wardrobe. But the tiny yarn was really starting to get to me by the end. I think a lot of my crochet projects have been really tiny yarn lately, and that might also be part of the problem. But this was in I know it's a cotton cake from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember exactly what the name of it is. I think it maybe is the sugar wheel cotton, but there's yarn cakes in the aisle that usually has the hand-dyed yarns. This is like, I don't even know if all Hobby Lobbies are set up exactly the same way, but it seems like the 2 yarn aisles are usually pretty similar. So there's one that has like all the baby stuff, all of the like fancier yarns and the blanket yarns and the sock yarns, and then the other one has the like whole row of I love this yarn and the hand dyed hanks. So this yarn is usually on the same side as the hand dyed hanks, just farther down, but they look like the Hobie cotton cake yarn. But this was a discontinued color. I got it on clearance last year during the Hobby Lobby clearance event, but they do still have some similar ones. This would also work great in a Hobie cake. You just need 2 of them, one to do each side. And I think that's all I have to say about that one. I was kind of getting a little rambly there for a second. But really enjoy the final product. Was really hating the process towards the end. So why then I continued doing stuff with teeny tiny yarn, I have no idea. I think because it's summery, I had a lot of cotton cakes. So my second finished object is actually also made with teeny tiny yarn made out of cotton, and it is the poncho capelet thing that I made. This was made using a Havana cake from Hobie, which was, I can't remember if it was all cotton or 50% cotton, 50% acrylic, but in this very fun rainbow colorway. So it is obviously much longer in the back than it is in the front. And originally the goal for this was to make a poncho, but and this one, I don't know if I said it already, this one also has a dedicated video on my channel that should be out already by the time you're seeing this. So you can go watch that for more details on it. But I knew I wanted to use this yarn for something not a shawl, because I make a lot of shawls with a lot of the cottony cakes, and I wanted to do something different with it. And this one had a really high yardage, so I figured it would work for a poncho. But the whole time I was making it, I was worried that the front was going to be too short because of the design that I chose, which turned out to be correct. But I actually think I'm going to wear it as one of my Renaissance Fair pieces this year. So far for this Ren Fair season, I am going at least twice. So the first time I'm going, actually both times it's when a friend is in town. But the first time she's in town, it's also for the weekend of a different friend's wedding. So she's coming into town the day before. We're going to go to the Renaissance Fair because the wedding reception is actually on a Sunday. So we're going to go to the Ren Fair on Saturday. And originally we were going to do our pirate costumes. And if you've watched all my videos, you've seen already that I crocheted something for my pirate costume this year. Very excited to wear that costume. So we originally were going to both do our pirate costumes that day. Then we actually heard from the friend who's getting married and arranged another day where the out-of-town friend is coming back again. And we're going to do pirates and steampunk things on that day. So now I just like really went on a tangent, and so the sooner day we're going to the Renaissance Fair, the one that is the weekend of the wedding, we're going to do different costumes. So I think I'm going to do my kind of standard basic Ren Fair base, which is like a flowy dress, and I have a set of, it's not a corset, it's actually stays, but like the little vest looking thing that laces up and has boning in it. It's just not quite as constricting as a corset is. So they're stays, but they're from Amazon. They're not like historically accurate or anything. So I'll wear the dress and the stays and a comfortable pair of like sandals, or usually I wear like Tom's or Bob's shoes as part of my Ren Fair costume. And I'm going to put this over it, both to add a little bit of color and to protect my shoulders from the sun a little bit. I'm thinking too, I actually have a piece that is meant to be a shawl pin, but I usually wear it in my hair. I think I might actually wear it as a shawl pin and like scrunch up a section to like give it a little bit more texture in the front, but it's an orange leaf. And I'm kind of half wondering now if I have time to make a wreath, like headband thing. out of like orange fall leaves and some blue flowers, or like blue and burgundy flowers to kind of coordinate. That could be very cute and might warrant another craft store trip. So we'll have to revisit that idea. But yeah, I'm very excited to wear this to the Renaissance Fair. Even though that wasn't the original intent of the project, I really like how it turned out. I'm still really glad I did it. It'll just be in my costume wardrobe for the most part instead of my like regular everyday wardrobe. So still worked out. I love going to the Ren Fair, so definitely not lost time, but it was another like very teeny yarn. But I did use a much bigger hook with this, which helped a lot. But yeah, here's what the back looks like. I just started with a granny hexagon and then kind of stopped crocheting one side and chained to make the neck hole, and then kind of just kept going in pattern. There's more details about it in the dedicated video about it. So if that wasn't enough, with tiny yarn, I started a second short sleeve hexagon cardigan using some Hobie cakes that I got in a mystery bag. So I believe they are the shadow cakes just because of the coloring. But I have started one side in purple. So it's a purple to black fade. I've only got a little bit left on this side, but I only had one of each color, so the other side is actually going to be orange for it to be like a lightweight Halloween cardigan. I probably didn't need another Halloween cardigan because I actually just made one a couple months ago using that like neon red heart yarn. It's another tutorial on my channel. It's the moss or linen stitch hexagon cardigan. But October where I live sometimes is still really warm, so I kind of wanted a lightweight breezy Halloween cardigan in addition to my like very, very warm acrylic one. So that's why we're making another one. But again, it's tiny yarn, so I don't know why I keep doing that to myself with crochet, but I guess it is what it is. I'll enjoy it either way when it's done. I really like, well, I've mentioned this a million times, but I really like Halloween, but I also just enjoy fall colors and Halloween colors a lot. I recently discovered, like, because being like blonde with blue eyes, a lot of times I was told like to wear pastels because pastels would be flattering, and I have definitely figured out that that is not true for me. I did one of those like color analysis quizzes, and it turns out that like fall colors do look better on me, so like kind of dusty, earthy tones. So I'm kind of trying to shift more into those colors just because I feel like A, I like them better than pastels, and B, I definitely look better. My face doesn't look as red if I wear kind of those dustier colors. So Halloween and fall things definitely work in that category. The other stuff I have to show you is actually a haul, and it's from Hobie, but I actually ended up doing a second Hobie order that's not here yet because I realized that some of the things I didn't order enough of, and some things I like ordered the first thing and then realized I needed another thing to go with it. It'll all make sense in a second, but I just wanted to show you. So the first thing I got, and I'll show you all the colors of these, but I got some more of the Go Handmade baby teethers. Each little pack comes with 2. I have used a couple of these now on my last few baby projects, and I really, really like these. It's definitely a unique thing to add to a knit or crochet project, so I actually ordered a ton of them. This color is Old Rose, so it's kind of a dusty pink. There is a brighter pink and also a more like cool toned pastel pink. This was the warmer one. I got the color Lavender, light purple. I like the texture on these too. I got Soft Blue. There were a couple different light blue options as well, and I think like a turquoise, but I liked this blue. Mint, a nice pale light green. Yellow, definitely a very bold yellow. And the last one I got is called Vanilla. So it's like a beigey cream color. Apologies if you can hear the air conditioning in the back. I don't know if that's going to show up. In the past I have also had the color Lime for those teethers. Really, really like them. The people that I have gifted them to have appreciated them. I have one that I gifted already and one that is sitting in my stash like waiting for a recipient. But the recipient of the first one really appreciated it, really liked the teether attachment. So I like those. They also come in a couple other shapes. There's heart-shaped ones, and there's ones that look like little feet or paws that you can add to a stuffed animal for a baby. So lots of options. Definitely like a unique addition to a handmade piece, especially if you're worried about like duplicating what somebody else is getting. I know that even though like I'm known for making baby objects like in my circle of people, I'm always terrified that if I gift a handmade knit or crochet item that like at the baby shower I'm gonna find out that like their grandmother is well known for making like heirloom quality baby blankets. So I always try to make something that's like very bright and colorful and funky and not like the traditional white, pink, or blue lace baby blankets. I try to do something different, and usually I'll say that it's a stroller blanket or it's the like travel baby blanket, like something to make it different just in case I end up unintentionally stepping on toes, because I never want to do that. The second thing that I'll show you is actually my free gift, but I was kind of excited about them because they're different. These are buttons, but they look like fairly large rhinestones. Don't know what I'm going to use these for yet, but I thought that they could be cool with like some Christmassy things, or maybe somehow use it to like pin a shawl in place. I'm definitely going to have to experiment with these, but I thought this was a cool freebie. I haven't seen this one as a freebie before. I've gotten like yarn needles and some other like little things, but never buttons before. So I thought that was neat that that was the freebie this time. Up next, this is one of the things where I decided I was going to have to reorder. So I have a friend who's getting married, and my mom is also close with her mom, so we're kind of unofficially helping with some planning things, or like my mom is just kind of being a sounding board for her mom. But I wanted to crochet something for my friend who's getting married, and I wanted to do not like a bridal white shawl, but something a little off from that. I don't think she's picked her dress yet, or if she has, I haven't seen pictures of it yet, but I knew that at one point she wanted to go more for an ivory than a white. So I decided I was going to, again, crochet something with tiny, tiny yarn, because I don't know why. So I picked the Hobie Soft Alpaca Lace in the color Champagne. So this is what it looks like. It's very light and fuzzy. It's 100% alpaca. It is a lace weight 0 yarn. And originally I got 2 of these because there's 437 yards in each skein. But once I got it, I realized that that is actually nowhere close to what I would probably need for the item size I want to make. So I'll have to do another podcast where I show like the second wave of this Hobie order, because I did order 2 more of these, as well as the navy or a dark blue to make one for her mom as well. But paired with this, I wanted to use the Go Handmade Glitter Deluxe, which is a glitter filament, I guess, that you can hold double with a yarn to make it a sparkly yarn. And originally I picked gold because I knew that her bridesmaids' dresses were going to be rose gold, and they didn't have a rose gold. They had a very, very yellowy gold, and then they had this one which is called pure gold. It's a little bit softer and not quite as yellow. But then I realized that all of her jewelry is silver. So that would kind of clash, including like her engagement ring. So again, reordered, got 2 more of these, got 4 in navy to make one for her mom. And I'm going to use the gold with the navy because her mom wears a lot of gold jewelry, and I got a silver to use with the champagne color. So that is the reason for needing to do a second order from Hobbii. But I'm really excited to use this stuff. I haven't used it yet, although I realized I did have I don't know if it was a freebie or in a mystery thing or if I got it with points, but I do have a silver already, but I knew that I'd use up almost the whole thing with this project because it's 1,800 meters and I got 4, so yeah, I'd use up like almost a whole one of these if I use up all of the alpaca yarn. So I went ahead and ordered another silver so that I can save the silver that was already in my stash for something else. I don't know what yet, but I'll use it on something. Can never have too much glitter. I'll find some project that needs glitter. The other things I ordered from Hobbii were kind of for fun, kind of for pattern testing. So the first one is the Hobbii Rainbow Bamboo. This is 60% bamboo viscose and 40% cotton. Color number 15, and it's 274 yards. Looks like this. I remember this color was called green tea on the website, but Hobbii doesn't put their color names on the labels usually. I got 4 of these, and the reason why I got these was because I'm actually playing around with the hexagon cardigan concept and trying to see if I can do it in knit. But I started with a vest version instead of a full 6 sides. So to do a vest, you have 5 sides, but 2 of them are half panels instead of the full triangular panel. So I have a test version that actually you'll see in the next podcast because I already started it. But I thought it would look really pretty in cotton, so if I do a tutorial on it, this is probably the yarn that I'll end up using, assuming the other one works out the way that I want it to. But I thought that this knit in bigger needles than what it calls for would have really good drape and be really soft and pretty, and really show off the kind of angular geometric style that the hexagon cardigans tend to have. So that maybe will be an upcoming tutorial. I don't know if I'll do it now or if I'll save it for like spring, but you'll probably see one of these in the future. The other thing I got, oh, and I did get 4 of those. I don't know if I said that already, but there are 4 of them, and I'm hoping that that will be enough for what I want to do. The last thing I got in that Hobbii order is the Metallico yarn, which is 70% polyamide, 21% acrylic, 9% merino wool. And I can't see the yardage because it's a donut. It's 125 yards, and I got 5 of these. I have used the Metallico before and really liked it. It actually was what I used for my Oscars shawl. So that video is also on my channel. I used it in like a beigey gold color, and this is green. I believe it was called olive green, but I don't remember. I also think it was the only green though in the Metallico. And this is the regular Metallico, not the Metallico Fine. But I love this yarn because if you look real close, hopefully my camera can pick that up, it is actually chain spun, but it has a little bit of a fluffy halo on it. So very unique yarn, very easy to work with because the halo part doesn't really get in the way that much. And because it's chain spun, it doesn't split very easily, which I love chain spun yarn for that reason, especially for crochet. I don't have as much of a problem with yarn splitting when I knit as when I crochet. So really like this. Not sure what I'm going to use it on yet. I don't even know if it's going to be for myself or for someone else, but I thought that the green color was sort of holiday looking without being like too obviously a holiday color. But I'm very, very excited to use that. And then I found these in my basket of stuff to show for this podcast episode, but I think I showed them already. So I don't know if they just didn't make it where they needed to go in my organization system from the last time I had a Hobbii order, or if it was included in this order, but I figured I'd show them again anyway. I'm pretty sure I got these with points either way. I don't think I just purchased them. But they are little wooden stitch markers. So there is a glass of wine, a round one that says sip, knit, sip with a little yarn ball on it, a cactus, and a sheep. And I love all of those things. So I remember picking it out and thinking it was a really eclectic set of things. I don't even remember what the set was called to have all of those things in there. But I actually have some wooden stitch markers that I really like from Fangirl Fibers that are my favorite murder themed. And I like the wood ones because they're lighter. So when working with like a really lightweight yarn, these don't pull on the project as much, and you can still use them as like a progress keeper. And these are the like light bulb style attachments. And they're like the safety pin kind. So you can use them with knit or crochet, and they can be progress keepers, not just the like slipped stitch markers that you use for knitting. But that's it for this podcast. Like I said, I am pre-filming the next podcast in this series because I have a whole nother pile of stuff off to the side to show you all. But thank you so much for watching. You can hit the subscribe button on this channel to be notified of all my crafty content, and in the description box you should see all of the information to follow me on other social media sites, platforms, whatever you want to call it. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!